غير الله أبغي ربا وهو رب كل شيء ولا تكسب كل نفس إلا عليها ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى ثم إلى ربكم مرجعكم فينبئكم بما كنتم فيه تختلفون وهو الذي جعلكم خلائف الأرض ورفع بعضكم فوق بعض درجات ليبلوكم فيما آتاكم إن ربك سريع العقاب وإنه لغفور رحيم صدق الله العظيم. Now, clearly I remember that we covered those verses. Alhamdulillah. I think I talked about that salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati. Really, I just want to cover this briefly, and I know we talked about it yesterday. The hadith that Sheikh Faiz mentioned is related to the ayah. The ayah here relates to the hadith, and the hadith is really elaborate explanation of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam on this aspect. قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي. Salati, my prayers. Nusuki, my ibadat. Different forms of ibadat, different forms of worship. And then mahyaya, that's everything related to my life. And what is related to my life? My life itself, that I am alive. And then my youth, my health, my wealth, and my availability, my time that I am there to do. All of those are, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, those should be dedicated to Allah Rabbul Alameen. لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. I do not do any shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, any form of association with Allah, and that's why I am the first Muslim to respond to the call of Allah, to respond to what's good, to do the right things. And that goes into every aspect of our life, dear brothers and sisters. It is not only, of course, like donation, which is great. We should do that and invite others and generate the resources to achieve the goals. But also in every aspect, in learning, in memorizing, in helping others, in every aspect that I am the first to respond, inshallah. So, dear brothers and sisters, Surah Al-A'raf next, and we're still in chapter 8, and it has many, many stories, Surah Al-A'raf, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us Al-A'raf. So let me just define the surah, the name. It's titled by that due to the situation at the end of the time or during the time of the Akhirah. As you know, in the time of the Akhirah, we will have people who are at the edge between heaven and hell. Those people who are like equal in their deeds. They are like 50-50 where they will go. And then, of course, ultimately by the mercy of Allah, they will be in heaven. But those are the people of Al-A'raf. And Al-A'raf really it comes from Urfud-Dik. Urfud-Dik is the roaster, if you know the roaster of the chicken. He has something above his head. That little things above his head is almost in the middle of in between his head, between right and left of his, the side. That's called Urf. And Al-A'raf is the one that's in the middle and it is at the edge. And that is where the surah is titled. And the ayah comes down the road, inshallah, we will recite it. وَعَلَى الْأَعْرَافِ رِجَالٌ يَعْرِفُونَ كُلًّا بِسِيمَاهُمْ. Those people who will be like 50-50, they are there, and there are people who knows them. People from hell, they know them, and people of heaven, they know them. And that's where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His rahmah, with His mercy and kindness, will bring them into Jannah. Let me just recite the ayat that is related to this, inshallah, and then we will go a little further. That is in verse number 43. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ونزعنا ما في صدورهم من غل تجري من تحتهم الأنهار وقالوا الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق ونودوا أن تلكم الجنة أورثتموها بما كنتم تعملون ونادى أصحاب الجنة أصحاب النار أن قد وجدنا ما وعدنا ربنا حقا فهل وجدتم ما وعد ربكم حقا قالوا نعم فأذن مؤذن بينهم اللعنة الله على الظالمين الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله ويبغونها عوجا وهم بالآخرة كافرون وبينهما حجاب وعلى الأعراف رجال يعرفون كلا بسيماهم ونادوا أصحاب الجنة أن سلام عليكم لم يدخلوها وهم يطمعون وإذا صرفت أبصارهم تلقاء أصحاب النار قالوا ربنا لا تجعلنا مع القوم الظالمين ونادى أصحاب الأعراف رجالا يعرفونهم بسيماهم قالوا ما أغنى عنكم جمعكم وما كنتم تستكبرون أهؤلاء الذين أقسمتم لا ينالهم الله برحمة ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون ونادى أصحاب النار أصحاب الجنة أن أفيضوا علينا من الماء أو مما رزقكم الله قالوا إن الله حرمهما على الكافرين الذين اتخذوا دينهم لهوا ولعبا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا فاليوم ننساهم كما نسوا لقاء يومهم هذا وما كانوا بآياتنا يجحدون. آمنت بالله صدق الله العظيم. This is like a page and a half, dear brothers and sisters, and briefly, inshallah, as I said, we'll go over some of the meaning here, inshallah, and we'll call it off. In the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take all kind of ill feeling from the hearts of the believers. Those who may have hurt or harassed or pushed each other in the dunya. As long as they are, inshallah, in Jannah, then there is no concern. When you are in Jannah, alhamdulillah, that is the ultimate. We are brothers and sisters in Islam, and we hope and pray to Allah to gather us again in Jannah. Let me tell you, and inshallah, this is, we'll come to the meaning, that our relationship in this dunya, it is not really for the dunya only. It is for the goodness of the dunya, to promote what's good, stop what's bad, but also for the akhirah. And you will see that from the beginning of the akhirah, when somebody passed away, you will see who will go with him to the cemetery for the last goodbye, as we say, to say fi amanillah and pray for that person. That's where we should build our relationship, and this is really will be lasting relationship for the dunya and the akhirah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we took out all their ill feeling toward each other and we gathered them into Jannat, وقالوا, and they will say, Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana lihada wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who guided us to the right path of al-Islam. And we are not doing it in our own. We mentioned that so many people, they wish to become a Muslim. They wish to pray, they wish to fast, they wish to do, but they cannot. For whatever reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us, alhamdulillah. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَتْ رُسُلُ رَبِّنَا بِالْحَقِّ وَنُودُوا أَن تِلْكُمُ الْجَنَّةِ أُورِثْتُمُوهَا بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. They will be called upon that this is your place in Jannah. You will have it because of what you have done in this dunya. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us about the other side of the equation, the people of hellfire. وَنَادَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ أَصْحَابَ النَّارِ. We will tell the people of the hellfire that we have found what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to be the truth. What we have said in the dunya is the truth. And we find it to be right. We talked about Jannah, here is Jannah. Hellfire, here is hellfire. فَهَلْ وَجَدْتُمْ مَا وَعَدَ رَبُّكُمْ حَقًّا. Have you seen what shaitan promised you? What you thought of? did you get what you hoped for? And they will say, Na'am. Na'am here, that means yes, we have found, unfortunately, that all the promises is not truthful, and the mistakes are leading into the hellfire. فأذن مؤذن لعنة الله على الظالمين. That there will be somebody will call upon that Allah curse on the ظالمين, and that ظالمين is المشركين in the dunya. الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله, those who are preventing people from the path of Allah. ويبغونها عوجا وهم بالآخرة كافرون. Those who are giving the wrong name and description of the religion, and those who are like manipulating the facts and the truth, and they don't want people to go safely to Akhirah, and they don't believe in the Akhirah themselves. Now, وَبَيْنَهُمَا حِجَابٌ, there is a barrier, or let's say a wall, between heaven and hell, between the people of Jannah and people of hell. It could be, so big and so huge and so forth, but it is a barrier. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said hijab. وعلى الأعراف رجال يعرفون كلا بسيماهم. And there will be a group of people, as we said in the tafsir, that those are 50-50. That are not of the people of hell, nor they are people of heaven. And نادوا أصحاب الجنة أن سلام عليكم. They will turn toward the Jannah people and say, peace be upon you. You have entered as a result of your hard work in the dunya and Allah acceptance. Allah rahmah, no doubt. But Allah command you and you responded and you did what's right and you get there. And then they will turn, وإذا صرفت أبصار تلقاء أهل النار أصحاب النار قالوا ربنا لا تجعلنا مع القوم الظالمين. When they will turn to the people of hellfire, they will say, Ya Allah, don't make us of those hell people in the hellfire. ونادى أصحاب الأعراف رجالا يعرفونهم بسيماهم. Then those people, أهل الأعراف, they will look at the people of the hellfire and they will say, have you get anything out of your wealth or power or any of what you had in the dunya? قالوا ما أغنى عنكم جمعكم وما كنتم تستكبرون. What all this effort you have said and you done, and you raise wars, you raise problem, and you accuse, and so on and so forth. أهؤلاء الذين أقسمتم لا ينالهم الله برحمة ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون. Then indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell that those are the people of Jannah. They will enter Jannah by the will of Allah and the rahmah of Allah. لا ينالهم الله برحمة ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون. Dear brothers and sisters, this is the ultimate. ونادى أصحاب النار أصحاب الجنة. Now the people of Jannah is finished. The people of Al-A'raf went to Jannah, and they joined the ranks of the people of Mu'mineen in Jannat al-Na'im, and the people of hell in the hellfire. And then it's about to close this dialogue between the people before the end of it. All what they want, the people of hell. ونادى أصحاب الجنة أصحاب النار أصحاب الجنة. The people of hellfire, they will call the people of Jannah, and what they want. They will scream and cry and shout, what do you want? They said, أفيضوا علينا من الماء أو مما رزقكم الله. Give us some water or some of this na'im, this blessing that you are enjoying. And what will happen? They said, no. إن الله حرمهما على الكافرين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it prohibited on the kafirin. They had all the chances in this dunya. They have so many opportunities to fix their situation, and they did not. Who are those? Now, we don't want to categorize people, and of course we don't want to make people, you are kafir, he is kafir. No, we don't do that. But we want to make some, like what we say, comment or identification to indicate those kinds of people. الذين اتخذوا دينهم لهوا ولعبا. Their deen is become joke. Lahu, la'ib, games. You tell them about Salah, Islam, oh no. And you tell them about Ramadan, oh, Like one time somebody said, Ramadan did not get a visa to America. Really? You did not get a visa to America? Ramadan, alhamdulillah, is being practiced all over the world. But you don't want to practice. You are joking. You are thinking of religion low. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَغَرَّتْهُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. The dunya took them away from the truth. أصبح عندهم غرور. Kind of like so much enticements with this dunya. There is so much to do, so much to gain, so much to see, so much to enjoy. And then they don't have 5 minutes to Allah. They don't have fasting to Allah. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you honestly. I met some people and they have like no reason not to go for Umrah, for example, or Hajj. And they reach the age and the maturity and they have the wealth. Why then? And I was in discussion in one time and I told the man, well, thank you, Hajji, inshallah, we'll talk again. He said, oh, but I am not Hajji. I said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You are about 70 years old. What you are waiting for? He said, okay, it doesn't have to go there. You can do Hajj from here. You just pray to Allah and you are a good man and that's it. I said, you want to make deen of your own? You want to vent things your way? Do you think that is the Islam? That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he said, وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ. And when he said, وَلِلَّهِ لِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. And you are saying, no, you don't have to. Then that's people, what this happened? Nasullah. Nasullah. They forget about Allah and His order and His deen. فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. They will forget themselves in the dunya and they will wake up at the end of the time, no power, maybe no money, maybe no energy, maybe no life. Maybe no life. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, اتخذوا دينهم لهوا ولعبا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا فاليوم in the akhirah ننساهم. We will forget them كما نسوا, as they have forgotten لقاء يومهم هذا, their meeting in that day. وما كانوا بآياتنا يجحدون, and they were rejecting and abusing and making fun of the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dear brothers and sisters, there is so much to say about the rest of the surah. And Qawm Salih, those who have another like a story, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send them a camel, will drink with them and share the water, but one day she will drink and one day she will give them milk. And instead of saying thank you ya Allah, alhamdulillah for all the blessings, they kill it and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished them. There are many other stories in Surah Al-A'raf. Dear brothers and sisters, I would like to stop here before we start chapter 9, in fact, just to make some announcement and take your question if you have any, and maybe have stir some discussion, because I really would like you to know, first of all, that's tomorrow, inshallah, we will have Dr. Imad Ba'youn will be with us, inshallah, tomorrow from the same timing, 6 to 7, but maybe he will be with us for half an hour only, inshallah, or whatever time he can. And that is for tomorrow. Dear brothers and sisters, for Saturday, tomorrow evening, 9 o'clock, 9 inshallah, get your system ready and prepared. We will have Brother Hussam Ayloush from CARE, Council in American Islamic Relation, and he will be with us like many others, inshallah, brothers and sisters, I hope, of the community, to talk about the community affair and to try to generate some resources that we can continue running the Islamic Center, just in case we have a real serious problem with this epidemic, and if we are like, cannot open by the end of May, or maybe a couple more months, we don't know. Situation will be really difficult, but we will continue our efforts, inshallah, to reach out to the community and make sure that we can run our affair properly. Dear brothers and sisters, telling others about something good is like, you have equal opportunity of making the same good deeds. You know that if you offer an iftar for somebody, you get the same ajr like he has or she has. Now, if you tell somebody that we are, alhamdulillah, reading the Quran, reciting some verses, going over some of the meanings, and making salah ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and we are meeting for the love of Allah, even through this form of media, you will get similar ajr and reward. And if we have like 10, 15, 20 brothers, the same thing. All of them, inshallah, will get rewarded. And those who are facilitating and those who are inviting and reminding. So tomorrow, inshallah, I would like you all to remind everybody, at least 2 or 3 of your brothers and friends that you like them to be with us, to join us between like 6 and 7 to hear Dr. Imad. And inshallah, again at 9 o'clock in the evening to hear Brother Hussam and to share some thoughts and ideas from some board members, inshallah. I would like to leave the next few minutes if you have any questions or any comment or how we can go about it, inshallah, to tell everyone.